Hello everyone. Royal Enfield has finally launched the Super Meteor 650 in the EICMA Motor Show yesterday, and oh boy, what a bike it is! It looks very class. It looks true cruiser with a long wheelbase, low seating, and a wider handlebar. It ticks all the right boxes as far as cruiser is concerned. So we'll go a little back, talk about the cruiser history. The India has been a market where the cruiser has always been a premium segment. We have brands like Holly and Triumph, where their bikes have bigger bikes, bigger engine bikes starting at least at 10 lakhs, and there has been attempts by various manufacturers, the Chinese and some of the Indians, in the cruiser market, but they were not really true cruisers. Even though styling wise they were cruisers. You sit low and have a long wheelbase and very comfortably, but the engines were taken from street bikes, like the Bajaj Avenger or the Enticer, and you have to change the gears frequently, and it doesn't really serve the cruiser purpose. But yes, they are still selling. At least the Avenger is still selling because of the comfort. But then, can we call them as cruiser? According to me, no. So Royal Enfield in the past has attempted, at the cruiser market with their Lightning and Thunderbird, but again, the dimensions were odd, and it didn't really kick off well, right? And but yes, Royal Enfields has always been known as a cruiser because of the way the engine has been tuned, right? It delivers a torque right from at the low end. That's one of the reason it's still selling. And again, it's Royal Enfield who has filled the gap of the cruisers with Meteor 350 a year back. And yes, it has been successful, and there's a lot of new customers walking into Royal Enfield, who has never imagined that they would drive a Royal Enfield one day, right? And that has been the target of Royal Enfield. In fact, I have suggested a couple of my friends to switch from Avenger, and though they didn't get convinced, but now they are actually driving Meteor 350. They bought the bike and they're thanking me every day, and they're really enjoying that bike. Personally, the 350, I'm not sure why Royal Enfield has tuned it to more acceleration side compared to classic. Maybe to balance the city and the highway ride. But then my personal preference is always the tune which they have done in the classic 350, where the power delivery or the torque delivery is linear, and it takes up slow, and that's the true characteristics of any cruiser. And with 650 Meteor, as you can see, there's no compromise when it comes to the cruiser, right? And so it is low. It is lower than the seating is lower than Meteor at 740 mm, and the long wheelbase, which is 1500 mm. You have a wider handlebars, so you're sitting with your foot forward position. So it has all the characteristics of the cruiser. Even the engine, though it has been borrowed from the Interceptor, but the tuning is done in such a way that the torque is generated from as low as 2000 rpm, which is going to be amazing to drive this bike. The Interceptor's torque, I believe, generates at 3000 rpm. So even so, at 2000 rpm, I believe it is going to be a true cruiser characteristics, even at the performance. So yes, there has been a lot of first times for Royal Enfield in 650 Meteor. The bike itself is a proper cruiser, right? And so if you see, it has the upside down forks, which is again a first from Royal Enfield, which will give you a better stability. And you have a instrument cluster which looks similar to the Meteor 350, and you have a full LED headlight, which is again a first time, with a minus bar at the center, right? And you have a very low seat, as low as 743, as I already mentioned, which gives you a comfort and a cruiser feel. And the tank has a teardrop shaped tank with 15.7 liters. I wish the tank would have been a bit bigger, wider, which resembles which resembles Meteor, at least in terms of width, so that the bike looks a bit bigger. But again, but overall, like if you see from the sideways, it does look classy and good that they have used the small headlight rather than the typical Royal Enfield larger headlight. So, and this bike, I've been told that Royal Enfield though has increased their quality levels much higher than their bikes in the past, and this 650 Meteor is going to go one step high in terms of the build quality or the paint quality and all other equipments or the accessories. So there are two variants available in this, the tourer and the standard one. The tourer will be equipped with everything like windshield, the storage boxes and things like from the factory itself. And the only thing I would be concerned about is the ground clearance, which is 135 mm, and the weight, which is 240 kilos. The weight is still manageable because we are operating it from a very low height. But 135 mm is something which is very doubtful in Indian roads. Apparently, Thunderbird and the Bullet has the same ground clearance, but since this is a long wheelbase bike, the 650, we should see how this translates or does it scrap on the bigger speed breakers or bad rolls, or when we go on a pothole. We have to see that once it gets launched in India, which is at the Rider Mania on November 18th, and hopefully we can see the bike in dealers in December. But one thing is for sure, like we can finally say that India has a cruiser, authentic cruiser in the mass market, and thankfully it is being made by the Indian manufacturer, the Royal Enfield, who has always been known as the true cruiser bike from 100 years. So it's going to bring new customers. It's going to bring even maybe the non-bikers, who always want a bike, but the bikers, non-bikers, or the riders who wanted a more relaxed biking, not the high-speed type bikes, but a very relaxing, the torque generating at 2000 rpm is going to give you a different feeling, the more relaxed, and no rush, and you just enjoy the scenic beauty of the city or the highway, and you just chill and go, and people keep staring at you while you enjoy the ride and the environment. So keep watching, and I'll keep you posted. If you have any queries, any doubts on the bikes or cars, feel free to reach out to me. I advise about the bikes, I advise about the cars, and I'm sure you will be satisfied with my advice. Thanks.